Hello, my name is Lene Schroep. And did you know the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs estimates that 11 to 20% of veterans will experience PTSD in a year span, and that up to 30% of them will experience PTSD throughout their lifetime. Accelerated resolution therapy, also known as ART, is a newly developed and recognized form of treatment helping people with a vast array of emotionally based mental conditions such as PTSD, anxiety, and depression, enabling them to overcome these debilitating emotions. PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder, and with PTSD, people will often re-experience in their mind trauma that has taken place previously in their life. They will have undesired flashbacks, memories, and nightmares. They can experience anxiety at the thought of a place or even going to a place that they had a traumatic event in their life. It's difficult to determine the cause of PTSD because it can take years to fully develop. The Rosenweig Center for Rapid Recovery states that ART works directly to reprogram the way in which distressing memories and images are stored in the brain so that they no longer trigger strong physical and emotional reactions. ART uses more modalities in different types of therapy, such as REM, which is rapid eye movement. This is a huge contributing factor for it. With REM, somebody will have their face still and move their eyes back and forth from left to right. And this is the brain communicating between the left and the right side, which is really important because your left side of your brain is your real world reality. It's where you have your logical, physical happenings around you. And the right side of your brain is your dream world reality. And you can use magic there. So when the both communicate with each other, anything is possible. Every emotion we experience has a physiological change in our bodies. When we experience joy, we have a lightheartedness, or we may smile or laugh. Whereas when we have sadness, we have a weight in our heart. We could cry, fear, have an increased heart rate, and shortness of breath a lot of times. ART works with the physical side of memories to help emotional side recover and heal. An example, a soldier going through an ART session could maybe use magic to expunge his enemy. He can fly over the battlefield because he's using his dream reality to do whatever he needs to do so that his memories that altered from the happiness to happiness from misery, loss, and fear. And it does not change the reality that happens. It changes the physical body and how it reacts to that memory. The disconnection takes place to heal and move forward. Next, we have anxiety. Anxiety is an ailment from PTSD. Webster's Dictionary defines anxiety as a nervous disorder characterized by a state of excessive uneasiness and apprehension, typically with compulsive behavior or panic attacks. The Mayo Clinic lists symptoms of anxiety, and some of them are restless or tense, sense of impending doom, increased heart rate, breathing rapidly, sweating, trembling, trouble sleeping, and an urge to avoid things that may trigger more anxiety. And this is very related to PTSD. ART helps release the fear and anxiety. And depending on the client, they might want to feel invisible so that they can blend in with a crowd if they have social anxiety and don't want to go out. Or they can build a shield around themselves so that nobody can just penetrate that shield without their permission. And so they have that comfort being wherever they want to go. And last but certainly not least is depression, and it combines really both disorders with and numerous others. And the National Institute of Mental Health says depression is common but serious mood disorder. Severe symptoms of depression affects how you feel, think, and handle daily activities such as sleeping, eating, or working. Tying in with PTSD and anxiety. Also, they have also characteristics of all sorts of different types of depression. And I'm sure you assume by now that yes, ART can help people with depression as well. And depression, I just want to point out that depression is not always based on circumstances or life events. It is a chemical imbalance. And ART creates happy, sense, enveloped, welcome, loved. And they can take the feeling of loneliness and turn it and replace it with inclusive and loved by many. ART reverses negative, physical, debilitating, devastating parts of mental health and replaces it with positive, uplifting building blocks to redirect our minds into healing and creating a new focus in life. In conclusion, I need to say mental illness is not mental illness alone. Physiological changes in our brain and hormone imbalances that counseling alone cannot always cure. It's like telling a deaf person that if they just really try and put in their mind that they can hear, that they'll be able to hear. Or a quadriplegic, telling them that if they vision themselves walking, that they'll be able to walk one day. Or to take a rape victim and tell them that it really didn't happen, or that they should be thankful to be alive. I would certainly hope that we wouldn't do these to these types of physical and emotional disabilities, but it happens. And ART was developed to assist us in this time when mental illness and emotional trauma run rampant in our society. ART is a form of treatment helping people with a vast array of emotionally based mental conditions such as PTSD, anxiety, and depression, enabling them to overcome these debilitating emotions and live their best life possible.